Okay, so once we've done our 2 setup rounds, in which we knit the knit stitches and then slip the purl stitches with the yarn in front, and then the other way around, where we slip the knit stitches with the yarn behind and purl the purl stitches, we're ready to do the sewing off. So the first stitch, which is a knit stitch, we're going to insert the needle as if to purl. So from the back to the front, put it through, and then we're going to slip that stitch off the needle. The second stitch we're going to take onto a crochet hook. You can use a cable needle if you prefer, and just leave it hanging there. And now we're going to go into the next stitch. So we're going to go from the front into the back, or as if to knit, and pull that through. Okay, we're now going to return to that first stitch that we let slip off the needle, which is this one just here, that's fallen off, and we're going to be sewing that together with that stitch that was on the crochet hook. So we're going to go from the front into the back through that loop, and then as if to purl into the second loop. So we're going to come back out from, so we're going in from the front like this, and then we're coming out under that first leg of that second knit stitch. It is a bit fiddly and it does take a while to get your head around, but just keep practicing, you will get there in the end. And then you slip that third stitch off the needle as well, and that's the first one done. And now we're going to be joining that first purl stitch that we let fall off the needle with the second purl stitch. So we're going to come from the back, and then the next one that's still on the needle. So we've inserted the tapestry needle from behind, coming out in the front, and then we're going to insert it from the front to the back of that stitch that's on the needle still. And we'll pull that through. And from now on, you're going to see that we're going to follow a rhythm, which should help you get the hang of it. And we let that needle, I'll let that one drop off as well. So now we're going to go back to join a knit with a knit. We're always going to be joining knits with knits, purls with purls, all the way through. So we go from the front to the back through this left leg, and then we come out after this stitch. So we insert the tapestry needle as if to purl into that knit stitch that's still on the needle and pull it through. You have to leave quite a long yarn tail, which is quite annoying to work with, but there we go. And then we slip that one off the needle. And now we're going to be joining again a purl stitch to a purl stitch. So it's this purl stitch that we've already dropped off the needle, which is on the back here. We need to join it to this purl stitch just after the knit stitch. So to get rid of this knit stitch and have a clear path to join the purl to the purl, we're going to grab the crochet hook again and insert that, and just get that stitch out of the way for now. So now we've got this purl stitch here in the back that's already been dropped. Sorry, let me just get that yarn out of the way. This purl stitch that's been dropped in the back here, and we're going to join it with this purl stitch again. So we're going to go from the back to the front, and then this one again from the front to the back, and then we can just slip that off and pull the needle through. So you want to be pulling the yarn not too tight, not too loose. You need to kind of play around with your tension a bit. So we're not going to join it all like this. That's going to be too tight, but we don't want it too loose either. Otherwise you don't get that nice bind over edge. Okay, so now we've joined 2 purl stitches together, and we're going to go back to the front and then join the 2 knit stitches again. So this probably isn't the easiest yarn to see on the camera. Let me just flatten that out. So this knit stitch again, we're going to go from the front to the back of that stitch. Let's get this one ready as well so that we can see. We'll take that crochet hook out. And then from the front to the back. And then from the next one, we go from the back and we come out the front. So that's a purlwise. I hesitate to say insert it knitwise because you're not really, because we're inserting it under that left leg, which we wouldn't normally do if we were knitting. So we're going to go in from the front to the back and then come out from the back to the front. Can you see these are now together? So that's a knit and a knit. And after this one, we go back and do another purl with a purl. Okay, so we're going to go back to this one, so from the back. So inserting it from the back to the front, and then this next purl stitch from the front to the back like that, and putting it through. And this is where it starts to become a little bit more rhythmic and intuitive, and we let that drop. And then we do another, go back to our knit, so we're alternating knit with knit, purl with purl, so we insert it under that left leg from the front to the back and into that next leg from the back to the front. You see? That's a purl, sorry, a knit with a knit. And once we've drawn 3 million miles of yarn through, we let that one drop off the needle and we go back to our purl stitch. So let's find that stitch here. See that? So that's that purl stitch that's dropped from the back to the front, and then get that next purl stitch that's still on the needle from the front to the back. So and then we pull that through as well. And this is how we're going to carry on throughout the rest of the round until we finished. Drop that one off. And then now it's another knit with a knit. So from the front to the back, and then from the back to the front. And drop that one. And then again, that purl stitch in the back, so we'll go from the back to the front, and then for that next one back from the front to the back, sorry. We pull that through. So you see it's only every fourth stitch that you'll need to rest on the crochet hook. Coming up in just a second. You see, so now we need to do another purl to purl, and we've got this knit stitch in the way. So this is the one that we're going to just drop and hold there. So from the back, coming out the front, and then this one here, we're going to go from the front into the back. So I'm not going to take credit for learning how to do this by myself. This sewing off part I learned from a video I found on YouTube by a lady called Graciela Duarte, who's from Argentina, and she does the video in Spanish. So if you Google Graciela Duarte, you'll find lots of good video instructions up on YouTube for those Spanish speakers amongst you. Right, now I've lost my train of thought. I'm going to go back round, and this is the one that we've just dropped. So from the front to the back, and then this one from the back to the front. See, I'd started panicking because I saw that stitch just sitting there and it looked wrong. It's because I hadn't knitted it. I hadn't sewn it off yet. There we go. I mean, it's definitely not the easiest technique to film yourself doing, especially since you need to concentrate. And then again, from the back to the front. Just make sure with the cotton that you're getting it through all the strands, from the front to the back. And that's how we're going to go all the way around until we finish it. So if you have any questions, either just leave me a comment on the video or send me a DM, and I'll try and get in touch with you with an answer as quickly as I can. I'm sorry, I'm not the best video tutorial person, but I hope this has somehow helped you a little bit. There's not all too, I couldn't find that many tutorials on this 2x2 cast off, which is why I decided just to make a little video to show you how I do it. If you've got a better technique or you've got a good video tutorial that you recommend, then obviously I'm more than happy to receive your suggestion and then share it with everyone else. But I hope this has helped somewhat, and you can finish off your ribbed skirt or use it in any other 2x2 rib bind off that you need to do. Thank you for watching.